Mike with Chassis Parts Online again. Making a bunch of small, short videos today, installing this. Whenever I get enough content to post one video, I'm going to post it. I was trying to find the center line of this axle. I thought I knew where it was at, but I had to go check with that truck that's out there. So I'm going to go back one more time and confirm it. Okay, so basically we're looking for the axle center line. Now the axle center line goes right across there. Right across there. So basically, if we had a string line, it would be right at or on that middle rivet of those three rivets right here on this side. Now, the problem is this side don't have those three rivets. The frame's a different shape and the rivets are in the holes are in the wrong place. Okay, so we got to go on this side for lineup, okay? But we do have some other holes here that look to be the same on the other side. All right, see that kind of oval shaped hole there, two of them together, another one behind it. You got the same thing over here. Now measured from the front, which I've already done, those are in the same spot. And from right here to the center of this is 28 inches. So we can find our center line off of that on the other frame over there. This is such an oddball frame the way it's shaped. But we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's go back over there. Okay, so on this frame, I've already marked it. I measured 28 back on this side to that same rivet hole. Okay, that's our center line. And as you can see, my cross member has a notch that marks its center line. Okay. Right. Okay. So what I did was, I thought that hole right there was in the same spot, but as you can see, measuring from the front back, it's not. But I don't want to go off this front hole here, because I don't know if any of this stuff is bent. So I pulled a measurement from that hole right there on both sides to right here, and it's 72 5/8. So that's how I marked that. So we're going to call that our center line. And then the other measurement I needed, I've got right here. So my cross member is designed on this chassis right here. This is a 65. This is actually a 66, but 65 to 79, this front is the same. These 6 holes are where your spring pocket, coil spring pocket, was riveted to the frame. Okay, you take those out, take the rivets out, cut them out however you want to get them out, and ream the holes out to 1/2 inch. Okay, now they're about 7/16, and they're not completely round from when the rivets are put in, probably hot. But once you get them out, you ream those out, and those, the center line of those, as you can see marked on the top there, that's the center line of the axle on this truck. Okay, so I needed to make my let's see, the upper control arm mount goes on top of here, and it coincides with the lower control arm mount being down here. So that distance from that one to this one has to be the same. So that means the hole from here to the top of this frame has to be the same on that frame. So our upper control arm mount is going to be the same, because our upper control arm mount cannot mount any lower on that chassis. So it can't mount any lower on this chassis. So from the center of the hole, from the center of that hole right there to the top of that frame is about 1.25 inches. And that's what we have here. We have this centered in here, sitting where it's going to go, setting the right height, squared up as it can get. So now we start looking at holes. Now these holes on the top don't look the same. Now, these holes that we found, these are the same because I've measured these, okay, on both sides. But like from here to say this hole here, or these holes, that's not the same over there. Now that back hole right there might be the same. But this hole's not there, and that hole's not there, and that hole is not even the same as that one. So what I'm going to have to do is I'll go off the right side since we know the right side. I'll need to check and see if this hole is the same on the other side. And what I'll do is I'll make a template to go inside here that goes straight but gets wider at the front and goes all the way to this hole and goes up this way. And then we'll use this hole, and I don't know if we'd be able to use the center hole because the center hole over there is off. We'd have to drill it, and you'd have to drill damn near into the other hole. So we may not even use that one. We may use this hole and this hole as our top holes, but that may also interfere with the arm mounts because the arm mounts are pretty narrow. I have to go get one of those to see. You may have to go all the way to here and up here, or you may have to go inside here somewhere. So I've got this where it's going to go, squared up, chassis squared up. Next step is figure out what holes in the top will not interfere with the upper control arm mount, and then make a template, which I've got some cardboard on the table over there. See, cardboard, need some scissors, and cardboard in a square. I was looking at the bottom holes inside here, and they look to be about the same, but there's only one of the big holes. See, actually the big hole, yeah, see, don't have the same holes. They don't look the same anyway from over here. That big hole may be the same. One of the big holes could be the same. But we need some small holes. So this hole right here may coincide with that hole there because those holes are in the same spot. Apparently, I haven't measured it yet. But this hole is not on the other side. On the other side, yeah, it is there, but it may not be in the same place. I've got to check all those before I make anything. That hole right there may be good. I'm assuming these are the same on both sides, but I've got to check and make sure. And I'll put a check mark or an X beside each one that's the same from one side to the other, so I know what we can and cannot use, and then we'll come back from there. Okay, done a bunch of measuring. We can use all those holes with check mark. We can even use that big hole because it's right along across from a hole in there. We put a crush sleeve in. We can use all these holes on the top. We just need to drill one right there to match that one right there. Okay, all these holes. We can even use that hole and that hole, but we cannot use those two. Those need X's by them. Cannot use that one. One of those big holes is supposed to be the same inside there, but it's not. We can use the middle hole, but not that hole. Use that hole. Okay, so those are the same on both sides. So basically what I do next is I make templates for all these to make me a box. Okay, now the thing about it is this is so wide right here at the front where the upper control arm is going to mount. I'm not going to be able to go down the front with a brace. It's going to have to go this way, and with the brace on the back, this one may be wide enough. I'll have to see with one of my upper control arm mounts. Definitely going to have to do a bunch of drawing in CAD to make the right pieces. But the next step is making templates and then transferring the templates to steel, making two of each side, drilling them, and then I'll have to make the plate match those 6 holes. I'll have to make, yeah, drop my phone. I'll make crush sleeves for these 3 holes right here, or actually probably that one right there. It's a little higher than that one, but that one, and one inside here. The stuff they use is a 1-inch OD, so it'll fill that hole. I just need a big washer on the outside. So that's where we're at. These holes here will I have to put weld nuts on the inside, so you can run bolts in from the bottom, run bolts in from the top. So I don't know if you can get, well, you probably could get to them with a wrench, because the box is gonna have to be open on the ends. So anyways, that's about 11 minutes of content right there on this. Oh, and also, I didn't just go by these measurements right here from these cab mounts, because to these holes right here, there's about a 1/16 of an inch difference. So I pulled from the very back of the frame. You know, these frames weren't very straight from the factory anyway. From back here, and they're also a 1/16 off, so I've got a 1/16 difference. So, well, that's the 1/16 front to back difference, so that's a difference. I didn't cross measure from the very back of the frame to here. I've just went from those bolts right there and pulled it over and welded it. So that's what we would do. Now, I mean, I could pull from the very back corner holes to somewhere up here and see, but I think we're pretty close right now. So we're gonna go with that. That's enough for this one video. I'm gonna upload this video so the guy that owns this frame can see it, and we can go from there. Peace.